Hi, my name is Peter Stolz. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Vienna, and I'm also the lead developer of the MITE database, the minimum information about a tailoring enzyme. Today I'm going to show you how to use the MITE website and the submission portal to modify existing entries, but also to create new ones. This video is intended to be more of an overview of the workflow. We have other videos available, which should be floating around me somewhere here, that give you a much more detailed overview of how to, for example, create reaction smarts. These are step-by-step guides. Today I'm going to only describe how to modify existing entries, how to create new entries, and also show some utilities that we have available. So let's get started. First of all, this is the MITE landing page, and yeah, let's browse the repository for an entry. MITE is a work in progress, so there are often examples that lack some information. For example, here the entry MITE 9 for MAD is lacking a reaction description. So let's add this information here. It's a fairly standard, fairly easy reaction. So we have a methylation here at the hydroxy group, and we want to describe this. We go to modify entry, and before we can modify the entry, you have to first read the terms of use. And if we want to get our work credited, we also have to provide an ORCID. So be aware that providing this personal information of you, the ORCID, also enters it in the permanent record. So it will be always findable as person X has created this MITE entry, which is both good because you are findable and the work is creditable. At the same time, yeah, once this is in the record, there's no turning back. So just be aware. In this case, let's do this as an anonymous submission, and let's modify the entry. So let's take a look at the referenced URI here. We'll quickly search that. And this is the myelin-mycin pathway. And let's scroll down to the description and add something like methylation in the myelin-mycin synthetic pathway. We describe our changes, edit reaction description. Let's preview the entry. And now we could go back and modify further. So if we, for example, saw that there's a typo, okay, myelin-mycin could be here with a small m. And voila, let's submit this for a review. And that's it, very easy. Now let's take a look at how to actually create a new entry. And for that, I am here on the submission portal page, which you can access here by repository and submit an entry. And before you can start working, you have to first check out this small Kanban board here that indicates which entries are currently under work, under draft, which are finished, but are still where review is still pending, for example DXDE here, and which one have been already reviewed. Ideally, you wouldn't want to create an entry for something that is already, for example, being worked on. So before we can start working on an entry, we have to provide an enzyme name and a protein accession, either UniProt KB or UniPark ID, or an NCBI GenePep accession. And why is that? Because this is the base information that we are requiring for creating the entries, because we don't actually store any protein sequences ourselves. So yeah, the paper that you want to describe with the entry has to have this information. So in our case, let's do an example entry. So let's just borrow this UniProt session here. If we would try to just game the system somehow and just type in anything here, you would actually get an error because we are checking the IDs. So let's put the real ID in here, and let's start the submission. And yeah, so now it's a fairly simple form. So let's assume that this is a halogenase. We can add cofactor and so on, but these are not mandatory information. What is mandatory is providing DOI. Here we are. A reference DOI. And also to describe the reaction here. Like I was saying, this is let's say this is a tryptophan halogenase. Halogenate tryptophan. Something like that. We can provide cross-references to other databases. We have to tick the correct tailoring reaction term in this box. And also, let's say this was confirmed by heterologous expression. Let's also add a reference here. So now let's draw this reaction. I've already added L-tryptophan here in the Catcher online drawing tool. And let's say that this enzyme can actually modify both free-floating tryptophan, but also tryptophan in the peptide chain. And to visualize that, or to display that, we can simply remove the oxygen here, and the amine here would just stay like it is, because reaction smarts, what we are drawing now, they are not real reactions. They're not real. They don't have to describe real structures. They can describe an abstract substructure too, for example. In this case, we are doing it like that. So then we would just copy first the substrate also on the product side of the reaction. Then we have to convert this into the aromatic form, because the Kekulé form is not considered aromatic by the computer. We have to map the atoms using this reaction auto mapping tool. And then we also have to describe or introduce the change that we want to describe. So for example here in the 4th position, for chlorination. And with that we can copy this reaction as a daylight smarts and put this into the form. So as I was indicating before, these the reaction smarts can also represent substructures, but because of this flexibility, we also want users to provide a real example. In this case would be the full L-tryptophan structure, and that we have to then copy as a SMILES. And we also put this in here, and we would do the same for the product. So in the 4th position, chlorination, copy this as a SMILES, put this into the form, and that's it. We preview the entry. It shows us this reaction, the abstract reaction, and of course the example. And once we are happy with that, we can go and submit for review. And that's it. About the utilities, we have some utilities that can make your life easier. For example, a peptide SMILES converter, where you just put in a peptide sequence and it produces a SMILES string. We also have functionality to remove stereochemistry, for example, sometimes we have issues with certain E and Z configurations, stuff like that. So often it's easiest to just simply remove stereochemistry information, and this outputs the flat structure. And we also have a playground to test your reactions, which is basically the same as the form that we just looked at before, but without the extra information. So feel free to also use that to, for example, troubleshoot your reactions. And speaking of troubleshooting, so we have here a documentation, tutorial, troubleshooting frequently asked questions that you can also use to get more information about the process. And with that, I say thank you, and I hope to see your submissions soon. Take care, bye-bye.